Alright, guys, I'm going to do this tutorial and explain this while it's on my mind and say why this is for everybody. And I've had questions about this guy with a lawn and a riding mower. Okay, and I'm going to remind you, for example, if you're an amateur that can hardly get the splits, say you watch the yoga people, like in, say you don't get that far and you're discouraged. This is kind of to answer a question, because I had people ask me this all the time, and it's also a good way too, if you're an amateur, that you don't damage your knees and damage things. And why I do the way I do, I'm going to compare this to, say the people that ain't amateur, they'll say, oh, that's not how you do it, and yada yada. It's like, not to contradict either way, but why my way is good. And I'm also show you and explain why some of the things that you don't see in a complete tutorial, because it would be a long-ass video. Because when I tell you to do sessions of stuff for long periods of time, you do that in a tutorial. There are people on YouTube I look at all the time. They have half-hour and hour-long tutorials, and I give them likes if you're one of them watching. Yeah, I go look at the sessions of your thing. I move it over a little bit, move the slide bar over a little bit, and I do watch each one in segments. I can move back and then forward, because some very wonderful people have and don't got enough of viewers to do that, so I'm going to show you what you don't see, a reason this is good. I'm comparing this to, say, a professional person that's able to press into a handstand from a split, or use one of them athletic, the horse thing, that like the Olympics and that. And I'm not going to say you can become like this, but remember the old cult movie classic, martial arts classic, with the professional gymnast, what the hell is his name? Yeah, the movie Jim Costa or whatever. You're never going to be able to do that. Kurt Thomas. You can sort of, maybe eventually you'll be able to do that. I can't do that shit. I wish I could. But the reasons why this is good, what's good for you, say you can just barely make it through a split. And like people like me, if I don't keep at it, you do lose it. And I don't want to be like, I want to ask certain people that are better. No matter who you are, like, how long can you keep your split? I mean, say, can you go a week, a day, or just 2 days, or a week or more, and still be able to do the split, say, if you don't do it every day? I remember I watched Ridiculousness with Chanel West Coast when she brought up splits. She said in a week she could probably get it back again. She never did it anymore since her cheerleader days off. But anyway, see, I'm without being too off the subject, or without just trying to get on with it. What I'm doing here, even though you're not able to, you may never be able to do something like that, hold the full split and kick those feet up. But why this is good, do whole sessions of this, the way I'm able to get out of the split. Say if you can do it completely and be able to get out of it, which is a good thing. Say if you can only get this far. I preach to people, doing push-ups, do like a shoulder stretch thing, practice getting up, monitor anything you're feeling in your knees. But I think the questions people gave me is like, that's how I get a little bit of all that definition that I don't bench press do I bench press a bunch of time, or matter of fact, what you're basically doing is you're going to develop something as if you're bench pressing, because what you're doing is you're flexing out when you're coming out of a split, you know what I'm saying? Mail coming. Hey, what's up? Well, anyway, how do I explain this? It's a little bit of that, whether you ever be able to do it or not. And when you're trying to safely bring yourself out of a split, you're actually flexing out like the bodybuilders are doing, all that flexing. Sometimes people ain't just flexing to flex their muscles. You know what that shit they call it? I don't know. It has a name, or people call it different ways. There's a thing where people ain't just getting all buff and flexing. That they're actually, an exercise that's flexing out. Well, there's a type of flexing out that, for example, you only go this far, whether you can get the split all the way or not. Do entire sessions of push-up like this. And what you're doing is, say right where you're feeling something not right in your knees, you're going to rip something in your knee. Say, that's why I tell people don't be doing, any kind of drugs that numb any kind of pain to cheat. Because what you do is if you don't feel there's something in your knee that ain't right, that's not a muscle stretching, you don't want to blow a tendon or rip anything inside it, you know what I'm saying? So you're doing a push-up, you're flexing out, and you're kind of like, even though you can't do that Olympic stuff like Kurt Thomas and Jim Cotta, which a lot of us, or that, was that Jeet Kune Do guy, that Scottish guy, I saw a tutorial on him, he's standing on his fingers, and he's picking up both these legs, and there's a lot of women that can do that too. I don't think I'll be able to do that, or be able to hold my feet in the air like a ballerina or some professional martial artist where you can stand and do a kick and hold the foot in the air. Most of us can do splits, but we can't do that. But no matter how good you are or not, I think, for my opinion, doing a push-up, just you get this far going like this. Do a whole sessions of nothing but this. And it's not only for your safety, but I'm a firm believer, like I preached about, taking anything you can find to do stretches on and use it. I-beams, use almost anything and use it. And you're not just stretching, you're actually doing muscle development, pushing and pulling. Which when you're pushing yourself out of a split, or if you want to just sit down and do the straddle stretch, people will come out of it like that. Do the straddle stretch, say you can't hold it, and you're holding like this, and my heels are kind of locked in, unlike some of the professionals that they're doing that straddle stretch, you know what I'm saying? You can come out of it that way and bring your legs back together, or say I'm not just pressing into a handstand. I doubt if I'll ever be able to do that. I'm basically 50 years old, and not too bad for 50, but still, you want to be able to, because it does you some good flexing out to be able to go like that. You can go back down and do it again, or do a whole bunch of it go up and down like that. Then go into a downward dog with it. And then you can do your downward dog stretches while you're at it. You know what I'm saying?